What's going on, guys? Tyler here from Don'tPanicDoThis.com, the site all about helping you to beat your panic attacks and anxiety. Today, I have a really cool product I want to talk to you guys about, which is Kava Kava Candy by a company called Ozia Originals, and they advertise themselves as the stress relief candy. Now, the main ingredient of this candy is kava, and kava is a plant that we talk about elsewhere on the site. There are other videos and other articles on the website Don'tPanicDoThis.com where you can learn a lot more about what kava is. I'll give you some of the basics just real quick, but I don't want to get too much into it on this video just because I assume most of you guys already know. Kava is a plant from the pepper family called Kava Kava. Traditionally, it's consumed in Polynesian island cultures. They take the plant, they grind up the roots, they strain them out into like a muddy water type slurry. A lot of you guys have probably had this before at either a kava bar or using some sort of kava shaker bottle from home or something like that. This candy basically puts a spin on that, and it uses kava extract as its main ingredient. And by doing so, it proposes that it can help people to manage their symptoms of stress. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about how I find this product works and whether or not it might be right for you, whether or not it might help you with your symptoms of stress or symptoms of anxiety. It's important to mention that anytime I talk about anything that this supplement has or may do for people, I'm really just talking about my own experience with it. I don't want to make any unsubstantiated claims about how it may help with symptoms of anxiety. What works for me might not always work for you guys, and this is not my product, so I don't want to make any unsubstantiated claims on behalf of the manufacturer. But with that said, this full review will focus on my experience with Kava Kava Candy, what it did for me, and whether or not it might be a good purchase for you. And as I briefly mentioned, I'm going to go into this assuming most of you already know a good bit about kava. If you don't, take a moment, check out some of our other videos, other articles and stuff like that, just to read up and catch up on exactly what kava is. If you're completely new to it, just all you really need to know is that it tends to have euphoric sort of pro-social effects similar to feeling somewhere in between what I describe as a mild alcohol buzz mixed with like a mild cannabis buzz or something like that. It's somewhere in between. It's this heady, like mildly intoxicating feeling that's quite pleasant, the type of thing that makes you just kind of want to vibe out, relax, listen to some music, and have a good day. That's pretty much how I would describe it, but like I said, check out some of those other articles and do your research on exactly what kava is before you jump right into trying this product yourself. So Kava Kava Candy comes in two different flavors as of right now. They have a ginger mint flavor and then this one, which is the orange flavor here. So I actually haven't tried the ginger mint flavor. I would love to try it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The only one I've tried so far is the orange flavor. So that's the one I'll be talking about today. Now, as for the flavor, if you've ever had kava before, just in general, like a regular kava drink, you know that kava is not known for tasting good. It really tastes like a sort of earthy, like a muddy water slurry type taste that's really not that great. It's not as bad as like taking a shot of alcohol or anything like that, but it's not a refreshing beverage. So, kava, I want to set your standards right. If you're expecting this to taste like a sweet, delicious candy, I think you should dial it back a bit and set your expectations a little bit more realistically. But if you're expecting it to taste like a disgusting, straight piece of kava, then I think you'll actually be pleasantly surprised because they actually do a pretty good job of masking the flavor of kava with a couple of other ingredients. Basically, it mostly just says natural flavor, a couple of different flavoring things on here. They also have lemon balm and chamomile, which are popular ingredients just in general in teas and stuff like that for stress relief, so that's good. But typically, I would say this does an excellent job of masking the taste of kava, but the taste is still there, so don't pop it thinking you're having, your favorite sour or sweet candy or whatever. It's not some movie theater treat, definitely not, but it is nowhere near as bad as if it were just the straight kava flavor. They definitely do a good job of masking it. I would say that the one thing that stands out, and it even says it on the box here in the corner, it says tongue numbing sensation, and that is absolutely true. If you've ever had kava before as a drink, you'll realize that it has that sort of numbing anesthetic type effect on the lips, tongue, or even throat, where it feels just a little bit numb, a little bit tingly. This candy definitely does have that, and because it sits on your tongue for a while, it'll make it a little bit numb. I don't think it's a deal breaker. I don't think it's that bad, but if that type of feeling really bothers you about kava, then this probably isn't the best way to go. If the flavor bothers you about kava, this is a good option. If the numbness bothers you about kava, not so much, because it's going to be sitting on your tongue for a while, and your tongue will probably feel a bit numb by the end of it. So that's really the big takeaway on taste there. Now, hands down, the biggest benefit of Kava Kava Candy is the fact that it's just so convenient and discreet as opposed to other methods of kava consumption, or even other methods of basically anything that's typically used to relieve stress or feelings of anxiety or stuff like that. You got to think, you don't have to go stop by a kava bar or be brewing your own kava from home. You literally just have a little discreet piece of candy in your pocket. I mean, you see how small this thing is. And then inside even, I mean, they're these tiny little tablets. So they're super discreet. You can carry it around your pocket. Nobody needs to know about it. And if and when the urge comes where you do need it, because you know how anxiety and stress can be, they sneak up on you at any time of the day, at work, on an airplane, something like that. So this is a really awesome thing to have, especially if your stress or anxiety levels are a little bit unpredictable. Just having this in the back pocket or something, it's so discreet, so quick, that you just pop a couple of candies in your mouth. There's other treatments, other ways to manage stress, but if you're on the job, you're working, you can't exactly crack open a beer or something like that. Obviously, that's not safe or legal in most cases. So this is a really great alternative for that reason. It's just a great thing to have in the back pocket. Super discreet. That's absolutely the number one benefit that I would attribute to the Kava Kava Candy. So to talk about the function of the candy itself a little bit, I think that, like I said, I don't want to make any unsubstantiated claims about the product, but I think it's a really good way to take the edge off of like mild to even maybe moderate feelings of anxiety. It's not the perfect treatment. It's not the top solution out there, but it's definitely a good, especially because it's a pretty natural, pretty non-addictive solution. So I would think that it's actually a really good choice for a lot of people. And you got these little tablets in here. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just to show you how to use it, I'll open a new one here. See, this one, just so you see, because I had some earlier. I've already eaten all the ones in this particular packet, but this one's still full. So, look, you got a little orange tablet here. You just place it on your tongue and let it dissolve. And basically after about, 5 minutes or so, the whole thing's dissolved and the effects start to kick in pretty quickly. If you're trying it for the first time, I would recommend just starting with one, especially if you haven't had kava before. That's how I am with everything though. Just be conservative. Anytime you try a new supplement, a new product, take one, wait a little while, see how you feel, and just really assess your tolerance before just, obviously I wouldn't recommend, I'm really stressed, pop the whole package. For me, it takes a little bit more than one to feel those feelings that I typically would associate with anxiety relief or something like that. So I would say for me, about 4 pieces of these candies are probably the magic number for me. You might need more, you might need less. Totally depends on your own individual tolerance, your own biochemistry, makeup, whatever. So like I said, if you're gonna try this out, start with 1, see how you feel, wait a little while. Typically about 4 takes the edge off of most of my feelings of anxiety or stress or anything like that. So let's talk about price a little bit. Now for a 4-pack, which is exactly what I got online, that looks like it seems like a pretty standard amount unless you're buying it in a store where you can probably find like an individual pack. But I just got it online, I found a 4-pack. I'll put a link below somewhere so you can buy it yourself if you'd like. I paid at the time about $15. Whenever you see this, it might be a little more, it might be a little less, but I paid $15 for a 4-pack. Each pack contains 12 pieces. So basically, as a 4-pack, you're basically paying $3.75 about per pack, or somewhere around, I think it comes out to like just over maybe 30 cents per piece, if that's your price for a 15 for the 4-pack. Like I said, I can't promise you that's the price when you look at it, but that's what I paid. So yeah, price-wise, I think pretty good value because, if it's just over 30 cents a piece, and I personally took about 4, I guess this one's 5 now that I have in my mouth. Yeah, I guess that's pretty on point, because if you're making your own kava at home, it'll typically cost a little bit over $1 as well to have per drink of kava. So actually this might even be a little bit of a better deal than brewing your own kava at home using something like a shaker bottle, but definitely much cheaper than getting kava at a kava bar where you'll end up paying, you know, easily $10 for a drink. I mean, if this is a 4-pack for $15, if you go to kava bar, you'll probably get 1.5, maybe 2 drinks at a kava bar for $15, but typically speaking, after a tip as well, you're probably looking at more like getting 1 drink or 1.5 drinks for $15. So this is, you know, a good amount more than 1 drink's worth of kava and the kava lactones. So yeah, I would definitely say it is a good deal ultimately. Still, go check out your local kava bar if you haven't already. I always advise everybody check out a kava bar if they haven't been to one, just because it's a really cool ambiance setting. They're rapidly growing, and I actually want to see kava bars do well because it's just such a cool thing that's gaining popularity in the US now. So yeah, check out a kava bar and do it the right way and you know, experience kava. But then definitely when you actually want a discreet, cheap, affordable stress solution, that's when it's like, okay, now it's time to put a few of these in the back pocket. All right, so just to real quick go over some of those pros and cons, just a quick overview again, since I've been rambling a lot about some of the finer details. Pros and cons. Pros, taste better than drinking kava. Not the most delicious thing in the world, but it's still a heck of a lot better than drinking that mud water kava. Another pro, it's one of the easiest and fastest ways to consume kava. Don't have to shake anything up. You don't have to go to a kava bar. It's right there. It's in your pocket. That's another one. It's the most discreet method probably of stress relief. It's one of the easiest things you can do. You reach in your pocket, you pop open a candy, you put it on your tongue, and nobody's any the wiser that you're having anxiety or stress or anything like that. Nobody can really tell. You're just popping a piece of candy as far as anyone can see. So that's a very discreet method that's going to be useful for people who are feeling anxious at work or anything like that. Another pro is that it definitely does work for stress relief. And I would say for me, even for feelings of anxiety or something like that, it can definitely take the edge off, as well as being very affordable at just about 30 cents a piece. Anywhere else it's going to cost you more. At a kava bar, it's going to cost you $10 a drink probably. At a, I guess it's pretty comparable to if you're buying kava yourself and using a shaker bottle. It's pretty comparable to that price. But yeah, it's like what, a little bit over 30 cents. Even I need 4 pieces to feel that intoxication feeling. That is just over $1. So really not bad. Grand scheme of things. No matter how much you need, it's probably not going to cost very much. So I do think it's a really cost-effective way to manage your anxiety as opposed to other supplements, as well as being a really cost-effective way of even for recreational use. I mean, think about how much a beer costs compared to these things, and this will give you a pretty similar effect, honestly. Now, some of the cons, it definitely does numb your mouth. Not so much. I still have the numbness feeling now. It's very subtle. It's not like going to the dentist or anything like that, but some people will still feel it unpleasant. It does have a little bit of the kava taste to it. Like I said, that con is sort of a stretch just because it's nothing when compared to the taste of a shaker bottle. Kava in a shaker bottle or kava at a kava bar, the kava drink, this is much better tasting than that. And the final con I have is that it seems to be a little bit of a low dose. That's not going to be a con for everybody. For me, it's like, okay, it takes like 4 for me to get that nice, pleasant buzz feeling. But some people are going to want something hit them a little faster, in which case this might be a con for them because it does feel a little weak. Just in terms of the dosage, like I said, I need about 4. Some people that'll be good for. So I don't even know if that's really a con because some people are going to need less and not want to be hit with as much of that kava buzz. So that's pretty much it for the pros and cons. I think that should give you a good idea of whether or not this product could be good for you. Okay, so my final verdict on the Kava Kava Candy by Ozia Originals is that it's a really cool product that I think most people, especially if you like kava, it's worth giving a shot. It's pretty cool. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's my favorite way to consume kava. I personally like the more traditional way of drinking the kava and being able to drink it at the pace that I like. And just, I don't know, there's something a little bit more authentic about having the actual drink itself. But with that said, this is still a really innovative, really, really cool product that where it really shines is, like I said, I wouldn't make a kava shake on an airplane, nor probably could you. I wouldn't make a kava shake at work or something like that. It's just a little bit too obvious, a little bit attention drawing, especially if somebody's having stress or feelings of anxiety. They don't want to draw that attention to themselves, most likely, in which case this really shines as an awesome product because no one's going to know what you're doing. You're taking a piece of candy out of your pocket, popping it in your mouth. It might as well be a Tic Tac. Nobody knows really what you're doing. So that is what I think where I think this product really shines and where I think a lot of people could benefit from it if you are having stress or symptoms of anxiety, especially in places like the workplace or somewhere where you're around people that you might not just be able to make a kava shake or something like that. This is definitely the product for you. So like I said, if you're having any stress or if you just like kava in general, give this product a shot. And I want to hear from you guys. Thank you for sticking to the end. I want to hear from you guys if you've tried this, if you like it, and how you think it compares to other methods of kava consumption. And also, I want to hear how the ginger mint flavor tastes, because I don't know if it's worth trying it, but you guys tell me. Thank you for sticking to the end. I'll see you guys next time.